Good morning, Ratman. I'm head researcher Corgi, and this is my co-host D-Class Personnel Che.
D-boy!
Okay, just interrupt me. Is this what it's like?
Yes,
to be
this is what you do
I don't
every
like
time.
it. I don't like it. Anyway, today at the SCP Foundation, I will explain momentarily after Che explains why
I'm
we're doing
interrupting.
that.
Okay. You were supposed to explain a little bit more prior, but this is a Corgi-led episode. Why? Because so I have more time to do stuff. Well, that was the original idea. That's not what it's become. It's just we're doing a Corgi-led episode, and occasionally she will do Corgi-led episodes. I don't know much about SCP apart from a singular video game, and if they're not in that video game, I do not know them. So, and Corgi knows SCP, so she's taking over, and I am drawing the notes this time. I have a drawing pad. I can do that, but I thought, what would be funnier is if I draw this with a mouse. So have fun looking at every drawing, draw with a mouse. Also, if this is your first episode and you're like, ooh, an SCP podcast, we're not. This is a Warhammer podcast. We talk about Warhammer. We will inevitably go back to SCP every now and then, but for the moment, it's a Warhammer podcast. So if you want SCP and you also want Warhammer, tag along. Also, I usually host the show. Anyway, hey, editing room Che here. So Corgi's audio is a little scuffed. I've been telling her for weeks that she's changed one of the settings in her mic because I can notice it, both in the recording and when we're just like playing video games. And she just kept being like, no, it's fine. It's totally fine. I didn't change anything. And then I got her to stream my audio settings and I saw the setting that she in fact did change. And that's what's causing the problems and just all turned off. So this audio is a little fucked, but the audio should be fixed in future recordings. Sorry about this. You're just going to have to bear with it. It's a fucking long time. You're going to have to bear with it. So, sorry.
Yeah, this is not comfy for me. I prefer being painty, not good luck. Here's something you have to explain in this amount of words without fucking up.
Now you know what I have to do every week.
Yeah, but you're better at it. You've got more practice. Last time I ever did something like this was back when I was in high school, 6 years ago?
Yeah, but you will never get better at it unless you practice. I started this having no idea what I was doing.
Counterpoint, I can just stick to my talents and hope that I never have to do this again.
You will. You will absolutely have to do this again.
Damn. I can never escape. Anyway, the SCP Foundation. For those of you who are not indoctrinated or don't give a shit enough about it, which very understandable, it's very confusing, even to people who are semi to deeply ingrained in it. The SCP Foundation is a fictional universe, of course, where a government has created a foundation, secure, contain, protect.
Piss.
That's their motto. Yes?
Secure, contain, piss. That's what I wrote.
God damn it. Their job is to contain anomalies from harmless bone orchards to the very concept of death itself. Not even a joke. That's one hell of a universe. Today we're covering SCP-6003, the Beacon.
Are we just doing one singular one?
I'm sorry, I wasn't aware you wanted more. Shall I flip through the
I'm pretty sure when I asked you to do this, you said, I'll come up with a few. There was an implication
I'll come up with
of
a few
multiple.
to choose from one.
No. Okay, that's fine.
Just deal with it.
I will.
Anyway.
It's fine. This isn't actually a complaint. It's not like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. It is what it is.
Anyway, this particular SCP is one of my favorites from
send me
a
a
YouTuber.
fucking link?
Yeah, shut up.
I sent you
otherwise
pictures.
I
Why
would
the
have
fuck
had
did you send me a link?
Because I would
It's a
have
gif
had
of a lighthouse.
Exactly. This is what I have to deal with, ladies and gentlemen. This is why he talks, so I don't have to talk over him. Anyway, SCP-6003 is an island featuring a beacon, also known as a lighthouse, at the very center of it.
I looked at buying a lighthouse once. It's surprisingly difficult to find a lighthouse to buy.
Well, yeah, not many people are building them these days. You just go to main ports.
Yeah, and most
Don't
of them
just
are
go,
like
"Oh."
disassembled or small. The nearest lighthouse to me is like a story and a half. It's a pretty piss weak lighthouse, to be honest.
Yeah, I've seen it. It was tiny.
Yeah.
So this particular island is contained within an extra-dimensional pocket located in the Pacific Ocean, which can only be accessed if you either have foreknowledge of the place, the exact coordinates, or you desire to reach an island. You can't fly there, you can't teleport there.
For those of you that don't know your
Say that.
oceans, Pacific is to the right of Australia and to the left of the United States, also known as the west of the United States or east of Australia.
Directions.
Yeah. I know cardinal directions. No one else does, but here's an aside. My wife once tried to argue with me that west was not west. And I'm like, motherfucker, the sun is setting. It is west.
No, it's west. You've never gone west?
She had the map set to compass mode, so it moved depending on what you were
God.
moving. So she's like, you gotta go west. And I'm like, from where we are? And I'm like, yeah. Or she was like, yeah. And I'm like, what do you mean? I know that's wrong. Because the sun's in that direction. We're already going west. You can't tell me to go west from where I'm already going. We're already west.
Of course you can. That's obviously how it goes. Anyway, this particular island is located in a sort of non-Euclidean area.
Good use of the word Euclidean.
Thank you. I already forgot what it means.
Look, I can't explain
I'm doing
it
rubbish at this. I'm pretty sure it just basically means it's not really following our laws of physics as we
Yes.
understand them.
Functionally. That's
Yeah.
Euclidean. Oh, yo, he's a mathematician. Euclid.
Anyway, so people who travel there, it's speculated the amount of distance that you need to travel from 45 minutes to 8 hours is the recorded, like, sort of
Pitches.
range. Yes, that's the island. And they enter just a blanket of fog about...
Oh shit, I need to draw pictures. I forgot about that part.
This episode is a disaster.
Hold on, let me draw Australia.
Oh my god.
Don't fucking at me about how terrible that picture of the United States is. Fuck you. It's not even the United States. It's all of the Americas. Okay, continue.
Okay, so when you travel to this island, you have to pass through a wall of fog, essentially, before you
Like
emerge...
Skull Island.
Yes. But you emerge 10 kilometers from the island's shoreline, wherein once you're finally there, you are within SCP-6003's range. So all the effects that the island would have reaches out that far. So this sort of thing happens no matter how far away you are. If you plan or chart a course to this island, you will reach it. Even if it's like, several weeks away by boat. You will somehow find your way there in a shorter amount of time. Even though it's technically geologically locked to actual coordinates which are in the article. Which is 58 degrees, 30... No, I'm not even...
Yeah, don't fucking read coordinates.
I don't fucking know how
Fuck
coordinates
coordinates.
work anymore.
I know how they work and they're fucking annoying.
So confusing.
Longitude and latitude, but you need longitudinal each. Yeah, fuck coordinates, man.
Just use a GPS. All my homies take the boat road. Anyway, so this island, it has native flora, like a lot of which are just unique to that island, haven't been seen anywhere else in the world. And at the very center is...
Do you have any information specifically about the flora?
Unfortunately not.
Okay. Is there any fauna?
No.
Okay.
There are no signs of life so far.
So far.
But we'll get to that. At the center of this island is a 50-meter tall, smooth wooden pillar taking the form of a 1940s lighthouse. However, there is no lantern. It's not lit.
Oh, okay.
And it's one solid piece. All right? So it doesn't look like it was made, constructed. It just looks like it practically grew like that, essentially. Just there it is, smooth. But there's also no door. You can't enter it. it's a lighthouse without a door. And it's estimated that when they did radiocarbon dating of it, it's returned just a complete wide range of results from 12,000 BCE to 3 years prior to discovery. If I remember correctly, this specific article and all of its, what are they called? All of these logs and exploration things take place in 1968, which happened after, the coordinates were discovered upon an O5 Council member's death. The O5 Council is basically the government of the SCP Foundation. They're the ones who make the final decisions, who know all the secrets, who... They're the top dogs, right? And the only other people they are equal to is the ethics committee, who make sure they don't do war crimes and shit.
It's also Cyclops, Marvel Girl, Angel, Beast, Iceman. 05.
There is law around the various types of O5 councils, and the worst part is they would fit in. I'm pretty sure there's an O5 council who is completely blind, and because a lot of them can use anomalies to extend their lives, they're just allowed to do that. And a lot of them are anomalous themselves. Right, anomaly. An anomaly is obviously something that doesn't adhere to our rules. You know, for example, a tree that walks, that is anomalous. Or, as I mentioned earlier, a bone orchard, where you walk through an olive garden into an extra-dimensional realm filled with bleeding trees.
Oh, everyone loves a good bleeding tree.
Yeah, that one is... Oh, why is my mind so scattered? I've forgotten their name. Oh god, that's actually super embarrassing.
It happens. Shout out to me spending like 10 minutes trying to remember Conrad Kurz in that one episode.
I think they're the Sarkics? Oh god. So, we've got multiple factions. This isn't relevant to this SCP that we're covering, but it is good to know. There are multiple factions who each have their own goals, like Sarkics, who
Nine-tailed
believe
fox.
in... What?
Nine-tailed fox. I know that
I
one.
suppose? Yes.
Nine-tailed fox and the other one.
The Sarkics are basically worshippers of... Oh, I've forgotten her name too.
It happens.
This is just such a mess.
It happens. Oh.
I feel so bad.
I mean, it's not that important for you to remember.
No, but I feel... Ugh. You've got Sarkicism, you've got the Davites, you've got the Church of the Broken God, you've got the Wanderer's Library, you've got... oh dear, and I've forgotten them too.
It's not that important.
Yeah, but you would know them. They appear in one of the endings of SCP Containment Breach.
That's not a game I've played. I played the multiplayer one.
Oh right, yeah. I think that was the other faction in that too.
Yeah, they're like the insurgent people.
Yeah. Oh god. I swear I'm normally more knowledgeable, but I've been put on the spot and my brain is just... It's spaghetti.
That'll happen.
Anyway, back to the original point. The point is, this has been shown to be anomalous, like even more anomalous than traditionally understood, because as they step onto the island, as the researchers step onto the island, they notice signs of habitation, only it's missing something. There's no bodies. They don't find any bodies. They don't find any signs of, like, rot, essentially.
Hold up.
They find...
Hold up. Is this the one where the scientist finds his dog?
No.
Okay, never mind. That's one of, like, the 5 things I know. I remember there being a fog island and a dog.
I don't remember that one, but it sounds similar to Avalon, but anyway.
All their dead pets are there.
No, but that sounds sweet. Well, actually, could have been Avalon. I don't know. Point is, on this island, they see elaborate ruins, written records, sophisticated technology.
Ruins or runes?
Ruins.
Okay.
There are runes, but we will get to that.
Okay.
And the weirdest thing is, most of these items, if not all of them, are made of material that are not native to the island.
Like cheese.
Yes, like cheese.
Yeah.
And the weirdest part of that is they can't find any identifying information on who lived there. They don't know what tribe, if it was a tribe, what settlers. They know nothing about the people who lived there, just that there were people there. So you've got all of these statues, these houses, these everything, but no physical remains have been found. And back to the O5 Council, when O5-6 passed away, they went through his personal effects, as you normally do, before, well, when an O5 Council member passes away, they are pretty easily replaced. But anyway, this specific one, he had a waterlogged journal, which had a text in it, and using numerology, they were able to decipher the coordinates from it. And this is the text verbatim. And he said unto Lothos, traverse the seas, the waters of the world, though come not to that place. Craft from night and bounded hate, a paradise lived alone. His meagre kingdom ever still, beneath the wooded throne, where harrowed silence permeates, no reverence maintained. A quiet corner undisturbed, the sleeping giant remains. Vantala took heed of her master's warning and wept. No clue what that means. I've searched. I don't know who Lothos is. I don't know who Vantala is. It's just a supplementary paragraph.
Right. So there was no point for me writing their names down in the notes.
Trust me, I went through that too.
Okay.
I was like,
Well,
I went through the wiki. I was like, come on, this has to be someone. No.
They're not like real characters?
No, but we are about to get names of people who are.
I mean, like, real. Oh, yo, Lothos is a character in Buffy.
Maybe that's it. I haven't seen Buffy yet. I want to. I love
bother.
Spike. Shut up. You said that about a lot of things. You said it about Archer, and Archer's one of my favorites.
I never said that about Archer.
I must have misheard someone else then.
I've watched every
Hi.
season of Archer. What the fuck are you talking about?
Hi, I'm spaghetti brained.
You know the show that's one of your favorite shows? You said don't bother about it.
Oh, no. Sorry, I got you mixed up with Mum. Mum was like, oh, I don't like that show. It's too weird. And I'm like,
It's weird. It's great.
fuck you. You watched Twilight. Shut up. Anyway, on to... So, throughout these, you have addendums. This is addendum 6003.2. On 1968, the 8... No. Oh, I'm sorry. I know a lot of our audience is American, but I just want to say, come on, guys. Fucking fix your numeric system.
What?
On the 29th of the 8th, 1968, it's not that hard.
Okay. Yep. 29th of August.
Yes. Members of Mobile Task Force Zeta-67 anchors away. Before I go on with that, the Mobile Task Forces are really interesting. Basically, just imagine you've got this army, right? And you section off, like, I'd say, it's usually about 4 to 8 members. You section them off into specific categories. So you have, this one goes for sea-based anomalies. You've also got the mole rats, who I love, who go into more cavernous ones. Like, they've went into the walled city of Kowloon for the Architect SCP.
I'm sorry. The walled city of Kowloon is a character?
No, it's a SCP location.
What the... What?
Yeah. So there's this SCP that if you put it in a room, every hour or so, it expands the room. So basically imagine it as like a Time Lord. Like,
Right.
a Time Lord's
So a TARDIS is
spanner.
a room?
Yeah, and it slowly spreads. It makes more rooms and more rooms. And it makes them in weirder ways the more it grows on. Like, it will make tables out of glass or lamps made of brimstone. It's super weird.
So
Anyway.
that's how the walled city of Kowloon got created in the SCP universe?
Yeah, these mole rats went into the Kowloon walled city, found out that there was like a cult around the architect. And I'm pretty sure in that SCP, one of the members of the mole rat team unfortunately ended up drowning in sewage.
Oh.
Yeah, being an MTF isn't great. Anyway, there's also cyborg MTF who literally, when they die, they just re-upload into new bodies. It's cool.
Neat.
Yeah, I've forgotten their name. I could have also started us off with what happened to Site 13. It's one of my favorites. Anyway, back to this. So the Mobile Task Forces are just specialized groups. This one, Anchors Away, are... I think they're exclusively in this one, but they are based for maritime sort of things. Anyway, Mobile Task Force Zeta 67 and Foundation researchers Thomas Swain, Emily Clark, and Rosa Harm. I will send you the names. These people were sent for a preliminary exploration. They're the ones who go in before they realize what the SCP is about. So they're basically cannon fodder. And once more, I'm going to read something verbatim, which... Actually, Che, I've got a better idea. I have a better idea.
What?
Because you're not really talking as much. I'm going to have you read out the personal logs of Thomas Swain.
Oh, fuck, okay.
I will...
That means I have to then fucking mute your audio.
Deal with it. I'll be quiet while you read it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not sending you that. That is worse in Discord text. Hold on, let me...
Task Force Zeta... Maritime Zeta... God.
So this is an excerpt from Thomas Swain's personal log, dated the 29th of the 8th, 1968.
Which Corgi has decided I have to read for some reason.
Is to give my voice a break, because I have to read all the body footage. Trust me, you're getting the short end of the stick in a good way. The long end? Long end. I just realised what that analogy was. You're getting the long end of the stick. I'm getting shorted.
Excerpt from Thomas Swain's personal log. I'm doing a voice for this. Fuck you. 1968 08 29. When the Foundation sends us out, they usually want something in particular. A captured anomaly, a person of interest, something. Getting sent out for preliminary exploration on one hand makes you feel like a ball in a pachinko machine. This accent is going places.
I love it. Keep going.
They're just dropping us and seeing where we land. This time around, we didn't get any concrete instructions other than doing a clean sweep of the place and making sure that everyone gets out in one piece. There was always a chance that those would be at odds with each other, but the higher-ups never were revered for their communication skills. Past the initial shore, there's a ring of craggy, silt-laden plains. A brief trek through the sediment, and we came into a grassy, lush valley. The change in scenery was jarring, but considering the circumstances of our arrival, it wasn't unbelievable, just nonsensical. Then there were the ruins, lots of them, laid throughout the valley, clearing as far as the eye could see. Each building was one long room assorted into horizontal sects. Fuck! Horizontal!
I'm trying so hard not to laugh and that broke me. Horizontal sex!
Horizontal sections! Well, diagonal columns! The thing that each room was slightly more elevated than the one before it, like a massive circular staircase. You know, the Colosseum!
Do you know it?
Picture that, but grey, falling apart due to hundreds of years of natural decay and 1,000 times bigger.
I've changed my mind. I love these episodes. Oh god, I felt like the extras in The Biggest Dickest scene.
You spelled grey British. Who wrote this?
Yeah. That would be Plague, PJP, an Actual Crow, and J. Dune.
They speak British English.
Which is the best one.
It's
Sorry,
it's the
Americans.
correct one, but yeah. Grey was spelled with an E, which is a British English spelling. Anyway.
Fuck me. No, this is where I get screwed over. The next one is, well, it's a bit hard to explain, but it's a log of Thomas Swain's body camera. So it's listed as source, footage captured from Thomas Swain's body camera, date 1968 08 29. You know what? That's a lot of... I'm sending you the article. I have to send it to you.
Do you need to send it to me because I need to read it, or do you need to send it to me?
You have moments to read, yes.
Okay. Oh my god, that's many words.
Yeah, tell me.
Source body camera. Okay, there we go.
This one is also verbatim. Begin log. Multiple segments of ruins are present as Swain navigates through their perimeter. Other members of the preliminary research team aren't visible, but Rosa Harm's voice is audibly distant. Swain approaches a ruined building composed of what appears to be sandstone near the center of a segment. The ruin is significantly wider than normal, spanning 2 sections. On the right side of the entrance is a featureless stone pillar.
I read that as
extending to shoulder
featherless.
height. Well, it is. You're right. Mom, this pillar's got feathers on it. What does that mean? Bird people. Anyway, the top edge of the pillar appears significantly more worn than the surrounding structure, as if it's been touched by many hands. Swain enters the ruin.
I'm reading this.
Yes, you're reading the Swain parts.
Let me drink a water. I'm seeing a few similarities to the structure of the settlement present here. There's rows of what I assume to be stone benches, and again, they're getting progressively taller. These ones look like they're in actual rows, though. My best guess is that there was some sort of communal space, but we might need a better understanding of the culture here before we can say for sure, especially if we want to claim that.
Swain stumbles slightly before catching himself. A stone cylinder, broken less than 2 inches above its base, is sticking out of the ground.
What? Why is that there?
As Swain crouches down to inspect the cylinder, a second stone cylinder is visible between 2 benches. It has been broken at one end and has a prism embedded in the stone at the other end. Swain retrieves the second cylinder.
It doesn't perfectly fit with the bit in the ground. Probably because it was some smaller piece that went missing. Here, let me just...
Swain supports the cylinder with one hand. He shines his flashlight at the prism, the beam diffracting into smaller beams and creating a band of light at around chest height.
Bracket, pause, close bracket. Interesting! A primitive light source, it looks like. If sunlight got in here... Yeah, this thing could light up an entire room.
You're gonna make me die from trying not to laugh. Okay. Swain sets the cylinder down and approaches the back wall of the ruin through an antechamber. 6 haphazardly Bleh.
That's what I do all the time.
I almost said carved it. 6 haphazardly carved pillars are situated within. The first 5 have a wooden box on top of them. However, the last pillar is coated in a thick, stone-like substance, which renders its box fully concealed if one is present.
This hole... I'm trying to make sense of this, but everything is either too ancient or in complete shambles! Look at this!
Swain opens the first box, coughing as a current of dust shoots out as the lid is lifted. He finds a large stone with a crude painting drawn on it.
I don't even know what I'm supposed to be looking at here. A piece of a mural? It's too damaged to make out the image. There's 4. What? More of these we can get into. No, fuck. There are 4 more of these we can get to.
I fucking love this episode.
Oh, I didn't finish. There's more to go. If we're lucky, we might have a better idea of what we're looking at by the time higher-ups get a hold of this footage. Let's get some close shots of these.
Body camera is close to the back wall of the ruin, while the sound of a camera shutter can be heard. Swain inspects approximately 2/3 of the back wall in this manner before stopping and turning to face the entrance.
Okay.
SCP-6003-1 is visible in the distance. Don't worry, I've got Clark's bit.
Oh, I was going to also do Clark's bit.
Oh my god, yes, let's hear that. Swain's breath is audibly lighter as he rests on the nearby stone bench. Body camera continues to face the entrance. Swain is motionless for several minutes, occasionally mumbling to himself. Remember, Clark is Emily Clark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not Isaac Clark.
Bracket of a Swain's held receiver. Close bracket. What do I want to go for here? Emily Clark.
Yeah.
I can't do an Amelia Clark voice.
Amelia Clark?
Yeah, it's close enough. Rosa and I finished encircling the ruins. Over. I was. Would you mind repeating that for one time for me? Would you mind repeating that one time for me? Over. The runes are laid out in a circular formation around the whole island. We just went around the entirety of it. Gonna try see what's over in the middle. Over. Sounds good. I'll start making my way over there. Over.
Was that Irish or Scottish?
And stereotypically Swedish in there somewhere.
Oh, God.
A little bit of Canadian.
End log. Afterward, as of this file's previous revision, 1977-11-15, no close inspection of the remaining one-third of the ruins have been conducted, as environmental conditions on SCP-6003, see preceding addenda for details, have inhibited further investigation. A lot of this is going to be reading, to be honest, because a lot of it, when it comes to SCP articles, they are centered around the exploration logs, the people's reports, that sort of thing. And, I don't have to send you the photo of this, then.
I didn't, register most of the words that I read. If it's just worth a note.
Trust me, I barely register it myself. Oh god, this one's long.
Oh, do I have to read another thing? Or is this... Oh, the excerpt.
Excerpt from, personal log continued.
Am I reading this?
If you want, I can take over and do my best Thomas Swain impression.
Just read it normally.
Actually, no, we've already committed. Go on, Thomas.
Oh, it's gonna be so distracting. Please. Jesus, okay.
Yeah, but I fucking love it. It's so helping me right now.
Okay. Fucking the things I do. Starting my head every single time I pitch shift up. Oh, what was the accent? The outermost ruins had what many have. The outermost ruins had what many have once been 40 centimeters or so of steps. He's definitely English. He's
absolutely
saying 40 centimeters. He's spelling grey with an E.
Not to mention the kilometer.
I didn't notice a kilometer. Did I say kilometer?
No, earlier in the report it says that the distance is 10 kilometers.
Right.
Of the anomaly zone.
Okay. What may have been 40 centimeters or so of steps, while the innermost ones were stone roofs poking out of the dirt. The low-lying buildings we could access had stairs leading down, so it's clear that they were supposed to be at least partially below ground. I just want to make a note. I really struggle reading stuff. I fumble over my words so much. I have almost not fumbled over my words at all as I've been doing this voice. So what I'm learning is I should only ever speak in this voice.
Yes, please. I need it. Your Thomas Swain voice.
I keep trying to go for a David Attenborough thing, and I keep losing it.
No, but it's kind of good. It's like David Beatonborough.
Details that would give us a clue as to what happened to the people who once lived here had broken down into nothing useful. If whoever lived here had doors, they had all disappeared by the time that we had arrived. What's more, the plants had moved in while they were gone. The grass was halfway up our boots, and Rosa almost tripped over some of the vines. Twice! Their clovers were relatively tame. The front of each ruin had always a gap where a door might have been, with no openings anywhere except, bracket, occasionally, close bracket, the back!
I love that. Just to slip into normal voice with the brackets.
Eventually, Rosa pointed out that the houses near the back of each segment were wider than the ones in the front. They weren't in a perfect grid. They were all angled slightly so that the sections pointed towards a single area. We'd only looked through a few buildings, and anything beyond that had been hiding in the fog. So we decided to walk around and figure out how wide the fan of ruins was. Oh, man. Sorry if you hate this. It's going to be the whole video.
Oh, it makes me happy.
The moment that this act, like me start doing this voice, I'm going to see a distinct drop in views. Like, it shows me the bar of when people watch, and it's going to get to this, and you're going to, like, people are going to realize, oh, this is going to last a while, and it's just going to tank.
It just negative peak.
Em went to the back of one building. Rosa went to the other. And they were planning to walk along the outermost ruins in opposite directions until they reached the opposite ends. Instead, they met on the other side. Since the ruins formed a giant ring, we decided to see what was in the middle. The fog was too thick for our flashlights to be worth a damn. So they had to get close to figure out what was there. They didn't have to finish walking to realize it was a lighthouse! A towering monolith jutting into the sky like the base of a great tree! It dwarfed the surrounding ruins! Yet none of us had noticed the structure until we approached the island's center. Now, it was impossible to miss! I'm getting more into the Skaven voice than I did in that one episode.
Yeah, trust me, I noticed immediately. I just didn't want to bring it up.
The tower was crafted from some type of wood. None of us, nor our equipment, could figure out what kind. It was grey. They spelt grey with an A. It was spelt with an E before. Be fucking consistent. Incredibly smooth at first glance, but the fine details revealed twists and curves in the surface as if they were sculpted by expert hands. It was as breathtaking as it was terrifying. No power source, no entrance, but nonetheless the giant stood, an undeniable testament that something had been there before us. To think that we failed to notice something that commanded such a presence carried another unsettling implication.
So as you can see, even though this towering thing practically reaches into the very depths of the fog, it's so hard to notice until you notice it, and then you realize, what else could it have been? Of course it's that. As you can see in the diagram.
You need to draw a picture of
a Skaven with a lab coat?
Yeah, 3 Skaven looking at a fucking lighthouse.
Yeah.
And then just like pick one of the quotes where I say ruins, and then ruin is just in all caps.
Yeah, it's just everything else is in like my tiny writing, and then ruin.
Yeah, it dwarfed the surrounding ruins.
Yeah, like the shadow of the ruins overtakes your Skaven. Anyway, but yeah, in some cases, an SCP. I don't know if it's particularly also in this specific case, but in some cases, an SCP needs to be noticed before it can manifest, before its effects start having a hold on you. Now, whether this is a memetic thing, memetic of course meaning relating to the memory or the knowledge of it, so if you remember a word that you shouldn't know and it starts to have a physical effect on you, that's what we call a cognitohazard, because it's hazardous to your brain. This does remind me in some ways of, I don't remember the specific SCP, but the key phrase is, you do not recognize the bodies in the water. There's a specific lake where if you go there, you will start to see bodies, and the bodies will have the faces of people close to you, and you will feel a strange pull yanking you towards it to go save the ones drowning. But as soon as you do, you're gone. The moment you touch the water, you're lost. They have fences around that lake, but so many times people have gone through them.
Isn't that what happened to Frodo?
I have no clue, but probably.
They went to the marshes.
Oh, right.
I don't remember the specific line, but yeah.
Yeah, pretty close. And the only way you can counter its effect is by repeating to yourself, I do not recognize the bodies in the water. So that's what's the word? An example of a cognito hazard. And that's why I'm slightly thinking that once the lighthouse has been identified, knows it's been seen by a living sentient being, it starts to activate, as we'll see later on. In this addendum, 6,000...
as an aside, that's like a real thing and it annoys the fuck out of me. You know how you like science and then you look into science and then you just go, this. I hate this. Fucking...
Yeah, you're cursed with knowledge.
I think it's the observer paradox. Hold up. Observer.
Like as in Schrodinger's cat?
Nope. There are two specific... Yes, so there's an experiment that will go a certain way if it's being observed, and I believe it is the Hawthorne effect. Is it the light slits? No. It's a light slit experiment, and if you're observing the...
Oh, yeah, from a distance it comes up as 3 bars.
Yeah,
or
the wavelength of light changes depending on whether it's being observed or not. There's another particle that they're able to create, and the particle is highly unstable and will dissipate, but as long as it's being observed, it will not dissipate. The moment you stop observing it, it dissipates. Fuck
Holy
science.
shit, that's cool.
I hate it.
That is terrifyingly cool.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, oh, this is interesting. Like, science in general is interesting, and then you start learning more, and you're just like, man, I wish I was religious. Because this, I hate. I hate this. I hate its implications. Fuck this. This sucks.
Ignorance is bliss.
I really wish I could just go, yeah, God did it. Don't worry about it. Not observing a thing causes a tangible effect on the world. Granted, like, a lot of this isn't like visually observing it, but is like observed with, like, measuring it with electronics. So there is some leeway of like, oh, maybe it's like side effect of the electronics. But it's still just like, I hate it. I hate this. Fuck this. This sucks.
Yeah, the implication. It's because of the implication. Yeah. I'll get into my crazy mad woman theories once we've finished the article. And trust me, I have a lot, to the point where it branches into another SCP. Branches. That's a pun. You'll understand later.
Fun. Body. I've kind of stopped drawing because I have nothing to draw, so I'm just writing things.
Well, you're about to get some drawing.
Oh, neat.
So, in like one of the most innermost circles of the ruins, in specifically excavation site C, as you can see in the image Che is going to put up here.
Oh.
Blah.
Okay.
You're welcome. Of course you're going to put these images in. That's why I'm sending them to you. Yeah, so excavation site C, which I think is dig site 3. Don't really remember. Anyway, they find, like, behind a giant sculpture on a wall, they find a passageway, and it leads down into an ornate antechamber filled with beautiful tapestries and just patterns of all sorts. But past that room, which in the article is... The room is called a vestibule, which I don't think I know what that word is, and I'm not going to try and pretend I know what that word is. But I'm just making a note of it.
I've seen it enough to have a vague recollection of the word, but...
Alright, and within this room, they find 6 boxes. If you'll remember previously, I believe this was the room that Thomas Swain found, where he found 5 ornate things, each with a box, including a 6th one, but the box was covered in a stone-like substance. Each of these boxes contains a mural, basically a little piece of history from, presumably, the people who disappeared on this island. And I will be reading this verbatim. Verbatim?
Verboten.
Verbatim. I will be reading this verbatim. Box 1. A person coated in heavy black furs, possibly a humanoid primate, keep that in mind, is shown standing on an empty patch of land with their arms outstretched. In front of them, a tree, highlighted by a yellow flash of light, can be seen contorting and changing its shape. I'm gonna expose a little bit of my hand here. I'm 90% sure that the, quote, humanoid primate is actually an instance of SCP-1000, also known as Bigfoot.
I'm writing apes together strong.
Hang on, I need to fact check that it actually is SCP-1000. Yes, it is. So, in the SCP Foundation lore, there are basically 3 factions of sentient life. Humans, Bigfoot, and the Fae. The Fae are a complicated one, which if we do an episode on is going to be so hard. That's only if I stay in character, though. You're not meant to give names to the Fae, obviously. Anyway, the Big
I'll
Feet...
fucking name him.
No.
Fucking Derek. Fuck him.
Point is, they are called the Night Children in another way, the Bigfoot. And the reason they're called the Night Children is because humanity are the Day Children. Long ago, we had this massive war. Humanity number 1 kicked their ass, Bigfoot ran off. I think this is one of the refugees of Bigfoot, and that's because they are known to be able to have some aspects of magical abilities. I don't remember how advanced it is, but I do know one thing. You remember the dwarves from Dragon Age Veilguard?
Yes.
Specifically, the Bigfoot can't dream.
Okay.
They're unable to do it. So they like to steal human
Do I need to
captives
explain
and
that
fake
lore tidbit to people who haven't been playing Dragon Age the past... When did the
No,
first game
because I
come
just
out?
explained it.
2009?
No, because I just
15
explained
okay.
it, because like the dwarves, they don't have dreams.
Okay, yeah. If you didn't know, dwarves can't have dreams in Dragon Age. It's a thing. It's always been a thing. They also can't do magic.
Yeah, so that's the one separation. But yeah, so the Bigfoot were known to capture human and Fae prisoners and just torment them, because they're basically giant children. Well, they're either giant children or incredibly smart, usually divided on that. But they like to enter people's dreams, because that is the only time they can technically dream,
So,
by stealing
what,
another's.
they're fucking psychic?
Pretty much.
Hmm.
It's so weird, but I'll get to Dread Titania at the end. Anyway, back to reading verbatim.
You should see
Box
my
2.
picture of the big feet.
Oh god, please
Just-
tell me you didn't just draw like a hairy little man with giant feet.
It's a stick man with giant feet, please.
Anyway, back to verbatim. Box 2 depicts 2 long ships making port at the northern edge of an island. At the island's center is SCP-6003-1. Its lantern appears to be operational. Positioned near the structure is a skeleton, presumably belonging to the figure in Box 1. So there were corpses before everything happened.
So this is SCP-6000?
6003. Yeah. So the island itself is SCP-6003, but the lighthouse is SCP-6003-1. Yeah. My theory here is the entity from Box 1, the humanoid primate, I think it gave its life to become that beacon, whether to steal dreams of people or something, but just basically to lure people to the island.
So are the scientists
that-
losing their dreams?
What?
Are the scientists losing their dreams?
No. That will come up at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's no dreams affected currently, I think. But my point is, I do think that this Bigfoot, as I'm calling it canonically, I think its soul became the lighthouse, and that's why its body was left behind and able to rot. We'll understand why there's no bodies later, though. Point is, that's just my theory. Back to verbatim. Box 3. A human figure drawn with golden paint, most likely the tribe's leader or a figure of social importance, is in front of SCP-6003-1. Arms outstretched in a position similar to the first mural. A beam of light is pointed at them. The beam of light coming from the lighthouse.
Oh, not like just a fucking obelisk of light.
Yeah, just out of nowhere, like, what the fuck? God? Fun fact, God is an SCP, and he's also a dick.
I see they read the Old Testament.
Well, and also, Adam Alisim is an SCP, same with Cain and Abel. Yeah, Cain's actually kind of chill now, and Abel's a...
Erebus. Yeah, that's a pretty standard betrayal, kind of Cain and Abel.
Yeah, no, Cain was the one who killed...
I know, but like it comes up like, it's definitely not the only thing that I've seen where they're just kind of like, Abel was kind of just like a dick.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, I think, or maybe I'm wrong. I know one of the brothers is in an MTF team and can't die because he keeps getting resurrected
be
in a
Cain.
sarcophagus.
Cain specifically cannot die. Well, not specifically, but in pop culture, Cain is usually depicted as being unable to die because he is given the mark of Cain after he killed Abel.
Yeah.
And usually that's depicted as he can't die because the mark of Cain forbids him from entering the kingdom of heaven, I believe. And as a Jew, he should inherently be able to enter the kingdom of heaven upon death. However, if you can't die, you can't enter the kingdom of heaven.
Oh yeah, I just confirmed it. So Cain, yep, super chill. He relaxing. Abel, on the other hand, fuck you. He's gonna be a goddamn he's the commander of Mobile Task Force Omega-7.
So he's the one that keeps dying.
Yeah, he keeps resurrecting.
Cringe.
Yeah, SCP-076. Oh, he's a murderous barbarian who inhabits SCP-076-1, a Keter class anomaly. Ooh. Oh, no, I don't... And I've forgotten the rankings. I meant to look that up beforehand.
This is gonna be so fucking disjointed.
You know what? That's your fault for putting me in charge.
This is hey, if you missed the early episodes of Good Morning Rabbit where the focus was before I edited it into something a bit more coherent and put it edit video content. Fuck, I can't salvage this in the edit. I don't know what is important or not. So welcome to old Good Morning Ratman. It hasn't been that long, but here we are again.
I better explain object classes real quick. There are 3 primary classes: Safe, Euclid, and Keter. Now this isn't like safe as in, oh, you know, this is a machine that dispenses bubblegum. That's safe. Safe, in this classification system, they're talking about how easy something is to contain. So if it's safe, that means put it in a box. Box isn't going to move. Box isn't going to
Unless
open.
it's already a box. In which case, put the box somewhere.
Yeah, we don't talk about the architect box.
Box.
Yeah, it's... there's a proposal for the architect where they left the box outside and it's corrupted the universe, making infinite copies of planets. Weird. Anyway, so safe, easily contained. Euclid means that it needs a little bit of help being contained, like, you know, zap it every 2 days to make sure it sits still.
Pew pew.
Keter means we need to work round the clock to keep this box from escaping, because this box absolutely will eat everyone.
Pew 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 pew.
There's also some other ones like Thormiel, Apollyon, Archon, Ticonderoga. Oh god, there's so many. I think Thormiel means that it has, like, that it's used to contain other SCPs. So it's useful to the Foundation.
Pew.
Like, Pew!
It's the new scale. How many pews does it get?
1 pew, good. 2 pew, good. 3 pew, bad. Anyway, back to the... I forgot to mention at the beginning, but this is pending classification, meaning they don't fucking know. Is it safe? They don't know. Is it Keter, Euclid, Thormiel? No clue. They're just still trying to figure things out. After, well, later on. Verbatim, Box 4. SCP-6003-1 is surrounded by trees, animals, overgrown grass, and food. Members of the tribe are kneeling to it, and the leader, who is situated in front of SCP-6003-1, now depicted as having a grey crown on their head. I did go into a little bit of a spiral where I was like, oh,
wait.
I wonder if that's the lost crown.
That's the Lighthouse? 6001 has a grey crown on... The Lighthouse has a crown on its head?
No. The leader, who is situated in front of SCP-6003, now depicted as having a grey crown on their head.
Okay.
I went into conspiracy theorist mode and tried to see if that was the lost crown of Adam Al-Asem. It's not. I've forgotten where it ended up, but it's not here, which is a little disappointing, but at the same time, it's not part of the Cactus Verse. Sorry. The Cactus Verse refers to a specific writer, DJ Cactus, and his amazing SCPs. He's done so many good ones.
I know SCP split into two different versions at one point. There's two different SCP canons because of...
Oh, there are multiple canons.
Yeah.
This is just known to be whatever you want.
Yeah, but...
Whatever you want to canonize.
But there was one where it was like, anyone can add anything, and then it was like, okay, maybe we'll do one where it's a bit more tighter. And it requires approval. Anyone can submit anything, but it requires approval.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And DJ Cactus is actually the one who I most commonly refer to for most of my personal canon, because he's the one who's done the Demon Hector and the Dread Titania, the Demon Ogier, and the Bleeding Throne of Maladrog. He's done so many good ones. What Happened to Site 13? This Thing A Quiet Madness Made. Love that one. Haunted School.
I really like the idea of SCP. We're getting off topic again, but just like as it's topical, just like the creative, collaborative writing experiment sort of thing. It's a neat idea, and general public domain. I'm very supportive of public domain art. It's cool.
Yeah, I love it. Right, back to...
Like if I could do anything, like theoretically, if I had like an infinite amount of money, what I would do would write a very good film and then make that film, and then that film would end, and then the credits goes, hey, this film is now in the public domain. Anyone can make
in your hands.
Any subsequent follow-up to this film. Anyone can write anything. Anyone can write any fan fiction about this film and publish it. It's public domain now. I think it would just be like a really cool idea.
And there would be like 15 sequels, most of which are porn.
Yeah.
Just as humanity intended.
But like, you'd have to like actually execute it really well so people would want to do that. Like if you just make the absolute fucking ass film you possibly can, and they go, hey, it's public domain. No, who gives a shit?
Yeah, sort of like how, like just randomly the Backrooms as a sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, the Backrooms idea, and now you've got Kane Pixels, who's, God, how talented.
Yeah.
Imagine putting up with Blender for that long. I think he uses Blender.
Blender's easier to use.
Oh, not for modeling. Drove me insane that I uninstalled it in Fury.
Yeah, I was gonna learn how to do that, and then I replaced my animation with different type of animation. But yeah.
Oh, back to the verbatim. Box 5, front. Drawing of the ruins surrounded... Drawing of the ruins
Please.
surrounded...
Ruins!
Drawing of the ruins surrounding SCP-6003-1 are now present. The leader is depicted praying to SCP-6003-1 as the rest of the tribe are doing various tasks, such as farming, conversing, or dancing. Hey mate, what's your chore list for today? You know, dentistry? What about you? Oh, I've got to fucking dance. What? Who am I to judge? Box 5, back. The tribe surrounding SCP-6000...
Be like that.
This is tricky. This is tricky. The tribe surrounds SCP-6003-1. Their faces are weeping, solemn, or distressed. The leader is seen in front of or embedded into SCP-6003-1. Beams of light are shining from them. There is substantially more overgrowth in the background. I will admit here, I did get confused by beams of light are shining from them. I still don't think I can tell if it's from the tribe or the leader specifically.
I tried to draw a guy crying, but he just looks like a spider.
How?
The eyes are the same size as the tears, so they just look like he has 6 eyes.
That makes sense. I was imagining legs, and I'm like, how do you get legs from tears? Anyway, box 6. Inaccessible, coated in a grey material, covered in a viscous, sap-like substance that has been resistant to all temps at removal. So, after all of this shit, you know what one of the researchers does?
Eats it.
No, she gets the fuck out of there.
Ah, cringe. Eat it.
Yeah, Rosa Harm, she's like, fuck this, I don't want to be on this project anymore. I am out of here.
Eat the sap. Eat the sap. Eat the sap!
Do you want another flesh that hates? That's how you get another flesh that hates.
Eat the sap!
No! Anyway, request for project transfer.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna write an SCP story about someone who eats the sap and nothing happens because they should have eaten the sap.
I'm just thinking.
Reality could be whatever I want it to be.
I'm pretty sure there actually is an SCP slur like that where it's like Laffy Taffy, where if you eat it, it like... I don't remember what it does, but it practically gooifies you, I think.
Yeah, see, but my version of the sap, it would do nothing. They just eat the sap and they go, yeah, it tastes like sap, and then they'd move on with their life.
How would it be anomalous then?
Because it came from the fucking lighthouse. Idiot.
Gentlemen, I've gathered you here today to talk about your wonderful SCP-6003 winning project. Can I write a little story to add on an addendum that they ate the sap?
What
Why you
what
going,
horrifying
please?
thing does it do? Oh, nothing. Then you go, oh man, that tastes like sap.
Actually, hang on. If this is...
We've spent like 20 minutes on these fucking 6 boxes.
Yeah, that's what happens when you let me host. The end of video content is all the video
Yeah,
content.
none of this is end of video content. Some of this is going to get cut and the rest is just being stuck in. Sorry, again, if you wanted a coherent video. Fuck you.
God help the poor editor. Oh, wait. Huh. Anyway, you ready to read again,
Oh,
buddy?
fuck, yeah, okay.
And I will be
No.
Rosa Harm. Alright, so I'll be Harm.
Okay.
You're obviously Thomas Swain. You ready for David Beatenborough?
Sure. Well, I haven't been to the Grand Canyon, but I don't understand why you're asking me about it.
But have you seen the Grand Canyon?
I've seen photos of it. If that's what you're asking.
Then you've seen how time lays on something. You've seen how it wears down the world, carves the land, it carves buildings. Hell, carves people.
Sure.
Most of that lighthouse is a wood cylinder. It's like a tree, except for the fact that trees have age. They have holes where beetles dug into their bark and scorch marks from old fires. That lighthouse was smooth. The damn thing hasn't been touched. And it doesn't have any actual roots either, because that would imply some sort of change. It would mean that the lighthouse interacted with the rest of the landscape, but the lighthouse and the landscape are completely independent.
Well, sure. I imagine that it being made of exceptionally strong wood is part of the anomaly.
This is more than just strong wood. Living things age, dead things decay. This does neither. Might as well be nothing. I touched it, I put my weight on it, and I'm still not sure that it even exists.
Whether or not you are correct, we need to conduct more research.
Research on what? A small society lives on an island that's nowhere, next to a pillar and nothing before disappearing without a trace? You saw those rocks like I did. They weren't made for art. They were made to tell people something.
I'm aware of that, Rosa. That's exactly why we need to do more research.
You can do your research on your own. I don't want to end up where the hell they went.
We don't know if they went anywhere. Like you say, things decay and die. This place is ancient, Rosa. And we need to look into every corner before we make any assumptions.
I'm not going to be here for that. I know when something's wrong. You know it too. And why you go into these lengths to ignore it is beyond me.
Listen, to be eligible for a transfer, you need to hyphen.
When I was sent here to conduct preliminary exploration only, mind you, not any of that sight null death trap you'd been going forward with, we were instructed to keep everyone alive. This is me keeping everyone alive. Is that eligible enough for you?
Unless you can prove you're at some sort of elevated risk, I can't approve you for a transfer.
My God, you were there. You looked at the lighthouse. You looked at those rocks. What did you see?
Bracket. A pause. Close bracket. I saw people. Rosa. People who were obsessed over something they couldn't understand.
Remainder of log excluded as per interviewee's request. How? Why did I go full what was that movie? Play Bunny?
Fuck if I know.
Melody.
If you're wondering why Corgi did that voice, it was those lines were in italics. It was every single time a word was in italics, Corgi pronounced it that way.
I wanted to do the sweet Southern Belle who turns into demon. As we all know, Southern Belles do. You know. So, she fucking got the hell out of there because she's seeing a fucking lighthouse made out of practically perfect wood. Nice. Now I'm just imagining a dick. God damn it.
I'm not drawing that.
Thank God for that. Rosa, she's out of here. And she lives. Whatever happens next, she's not a part of it. She is good.
So much more left to go. I have to edit this tonight.
I know. Oh yeah, tonight. I forgot about that bit. Sorry. Shit, hold on. I think this was a month later that they went ahead and decided, alright, we can't just live on this freaky fucking island. We don't know what it's gonna do. How about we get a site?
Man,
Sites are just temporary places that they put next to SCP, like active SCPs, when they're trying to research them. And eventually, if the SCP is deemed a threat enough, those sites turn into facilities or foundations, I believe. No, wait, no, hang on, I got that wrong. Sites can be temporary or permanent, and they're usually either used for storing SCPs within them or for observing SCPs. In this case, they made an oil rig to observe the SCP 5 kilometers from the coast of it.
that's a mighty
And
fine
on
oil
that-
rig I just drew.
Love it. They have a crew of 16 personnel there, sourced from the initial exploration team and the archaeology department. And Thomas Swain, who was the lead researcher, is now the site director of it. And as stated in the article, verbatim, Site Null's primary directive is to function in conjunction with archaeological operations conducted on SCP-6003. 6 excavation sites have been established across the island in areas that personnel believe will yield results in the recovery of materials belonging to SCP-6003's previous inhabitants. Because who doesn't want to know what the hell happened? What is this, a Roanoke colony? Where did they go?
They integrated with the indigenous tribe.
Technically true.
Technically true. What do you mean technically?
I'm talking about in the SCP
Oh.
instance. You'll understand soon.
Does it come up? Fucking okay.
Kind of. Like I said, you'll
This
understand.
reminds me of Doggerland, but that's very different.
No clue. what that is.
It's a landmass that connects Britain to Europe, and it's all underwater because of the Ice Age melting.
Oh, kind of like that place in Queensland where sometimes when it's low tide you can visit it.
Not even close.
Oh.
I goofed up, Dad.
Back to the thing. It is noted that between October 1st and October 10th of 1968, a lot of the staff were like, so weird things are happening, and the reports were made. I will read these verbatim. The first report was, seagulls are repeatedly spotted circling above Site Null. Despite there being no recorded deviance from typical seagull appearance and behavior, they are repeatedly described as vulture-like. As SCP-6003 lacks natural fauna, it is unknown how these animals have reached the island's locus. And if any loyal listeners remember a while back, when I found out that
You don't fuck with the seagulls.
Exactly. This is where I did the research. I was like, what if they're the dead people?
That's not true.
And come back
A
as
lot
seagulls.
of people who get shipwrecked, not shipwrecked, but like, you know, adrift
Died.
at sea, they mostly survive on drinking the blood of seagulls. If you didn't know that.
Well, that's horrifying and also kind of topical for the third one.
Yep.
But let's get to the second one. A rogue wave formed unusually close to land, colliding with Site Null. 3 personnel are injured. The third one. Water faucets at Site Null have repeatedly dispensed human blood. Chemical analysis of the fluid indicated it had been heavily diluted with seawater. Again, further making me think
Neat.
that people in the water drowned and got sucked up by the island or something.
Water people.
Like,
water people.
Or like that awesome, it was a New Zealand show. No, I think it was Kaiten Gata Twitch. Loved it, freaked me out as a kid. Living island, haunted by a ghost cannibal.
What in the fuck are you talking about?
Kaiten Gata Twitch?
I reiterate, what in the fuck are you talking about?
It was a TV series.
Fucking Kiwi TV shows are weird. There was one that aired a lot as a kid, or I was a kid. I wasn't a kid. It aired in like the 90s, and then they started re-airing it when I was older. That's just like 13-year-olds banging. Weird show.
Oh, The Tribe?
Yeah, The Tribe, that's it.
Yeah, that was weird. Back to the article. Issue 4. Multiple radio frequencies used in site null operations were simultaneously disrupted. Personnel using disrupted channels reported hearing multiple voices conversing in an unknown language. What if it was just Gaelic? And they were just like, oh, no. There are people out there who... Most Foundation sites have people acquainted with every language, including the weird ones, and the dead ones, and the ones that shouldn't have been weird. Anyway. Number 5. Plant growth in ruins has anomalously accelerated, leading to the entrapment of 2 excavating personnel for several hours. Team was recovered successfully. So, just as a note, plants are growing. A little bit weird. Where are they getting, why they're growing so fast. And no, it's not tree people, in this case. Number 6. Fog density near SCP-6003's shoreline has greatly increased. Personnel are advised to exercise extreme caution to avoid running Foundation ships aground. These aren't numbered, so I have to number them myself, and I'm already lost. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Transmissions consisting of heavy breathing and a wet shifting noise were intercepted by Site Null nightly for 2 weeks. These messages were determined to originate from SCP-6003. Make a note of that, because it will come up later.
Yeah, if we just get like a random fucking phone call and it's just a lighthouse being...
Yeah.
I love when a lighthouse calls me and just goes... It's great. Good times.
Who is this? Who is this? A team survey... Oh, sorry, this is 8, I think. A team surveying SCP-6003's mountains reported seeing a massive decaying tree lined with human eyes that, when approached, collapsed to the ground with a loud cry before disappearing.
Oh, nice.
I don't know what the fuck that was.
As was mentioned earlier, I've been playing a lot of Dragon Age Valgard, and I was just walking through the forest, and I'm like, that forest has arms. Oh, that forest has... that tree.
Oh, yeah, the arm.
Yeah, I sent you the arm tree. I'm like, that tree has arms. There's a human arms on that tree. Okay.
Just to clarify, the human arms were not being used by the tree, they were decorating the tree.
Yeah, I'll find the picture.
Ish. What was I up to? 9? I'm gonna stop numbering them, I just get lost. 2 personnel who were fishing off Site Null's dock for recreational purposes reeled in a wicker basket that was sealed at the middle with several holes punched in its top half. When separated, various cloths and a small piece of bark engraved with a symbol of unknown significance were found inside. I mean, the alternative was, as dark as it is, finding a dead baby in there. So, win? Question mark?
Woo.
On to the next one. Personnel at excavation site D, while underground, reported hearing jovial sounds coming from the surface and seeing dancing silhouettes flicker on the walls as if cast by a flame. Sounds were described as fleeting, and recalling the experience caused personnel emotional distress, often to the point of tears.
So I thought they were going to hear, like, jovial sounds underground, and I'm like, fucking dwarves!
Also, yes. Say it with me now. We'll get to that.
Alright, cool. Neat.
Here's another one for you to remember. MTF Captain Rian Langley. Just call her MTF Captain. Let's see. MTF Captain Ryan Langley refused to emerge from her quarters for 3 days, citing a claim that SCP-6003-1 was watching and judging her. On the 4th day, Langley suffered short-term memory loss and could not recall the events of the past week.
I hate when lighthouses judge me.
She has since been relieved of her duty at Site Null. Yeah, that's the absolute worst, when you just sign up for a job and next thing you know there's a lighthouse staring at you, unblinking.
I feel like if I went to Dunwich, I'd get into that fight with the lighthouse at Dunwich.
Yeah, me too, but that's just for my own safety.
I don't know if there is a light at Dunwich, but there's a light at Point Lookout. That's kind of the point of Point Lookout, is a lighthouse. But there's probably a lighthouse at Dunwich as well.
Yeah, I would expect so.
For context, there's an island off my city that the town on the island is called Dunwich and Point Lookout. Also, it's not King Island. You gotta move on from King Island.
I will never move on. You don't understand the love we shared.
Fucking Stratty.
Don't worry about it. Another verbatim.
You alive?
An archaeological team of 4 was observed standing in front of SCP-6003-1 for 8 hours, each individual situated in one of the 4 cardinal directions around the pillar. When questioned, personnel did not view their actions as abnormal. Hey mate, you want to go pretend to be a compass? Oh fuck yeah. Hey Tim and Jerry, let's go.
I love being a compass. Holy shit, the lighthouse on Stratty is fucking awful.
Maybe it's this lighthouse.
We're talking about judging lighthouses. Or being judged by a lighthouse. I'm judging this lighthouse. Go fuck yourself. That is the weakest piss weak lighthouse I have ever seen in my life. Get fucked.
That is a Minecraft chimney. Someone made that to survive the night because they had shit tons of iron bars and iron blocks.
Minecraft looking ass. Fucking get fucked.
Lighthouse, more like lame house.
Come for SCP lore. Stay for Che getting angry at a lighthouse.
Just as the founding fathers intended. The next one. Site Null observed a passing vessel on the horizon, described as a long ship made from black
we're back on local lighthouses. Morton Island's lighthouse. Look, that's a much better lighthouse. That's a fucking Ridgy Didge lighthouse right there. Why the fuck doesn't Stratty's look like that?
Yeah, what beacon are they using? Fucking, now all of China knows you're here. What? Yeah, that's only gonna help you against, I've forgotten his name. You used to have a crush on him. The Milan bad guy. Oh man, I have issues.
Genghis Khan. Let's just go with that. He's a Mongol.
Yeah.
No, he was a Hun.
Genghis Khan, but not Genghis Khan. Yeah, he was a Hun.
Yeah, Attila. I don't fucking know.
Li Shang? No, not Li Shang, that's someone else. Now, look it up, otherwise it's gonna annoy me. Shan Yu.
I am.
Yeah, I was into him.
Who weren't you into?
My silence answers
Yep.
everything. Yep. I was like, I wonder. No. Back to the SCP. So sorry.
This fucking episode is chaotic.
Stop looking at lighthouses. You were just making this harder on yourself
later.
I
am just making this harder on myself later.
Don't worry, I'll stay up with you. You do the edity, I do the drawy. We both suffer. Friendship. Anyway, verbatim. Site Null observed a passing vessel on the horizon, described as a long ship made from black curved wood. The ship's bow held up a large figurehead of what appeared to be the head of an ape, with its mouth held open and its eyes replaced with stones. The vessel passed within 10 minutes, undetected by the site's radar.
Again, apes together
I'm
strong.
not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. When I was first researching this, I went too deep for that one. I was like, what if it's an actual real life ship? It's not. I wasted 30 minutes. It's not a real life ship.
Sometimes it'd be like that. I do research for other episodes and then it's like an hour later I'm like, I've got nothing. I have literally gone down a side tangent and none of this is related to the episode.
I mean, if anything, it would be related to SCP-1000 Bigfoot. But at the same time, I don't think they... no, they were on water. Because they used to abduct people, take them back to their forest.
Aquatic apes? That's a rabbit hole to go down. It's a bullshit rabbit hole, but it's a rabbit hole to go down.
Apes together, boat. Personnel report feelings of constantly being observed at Site Null and on SCP-6003. So the Lighthouse isn't just watching the MTF captain, it's watching everyone.
as lighthouses tend to do. It's kind of
If you had been alone for
their
ages, you'd be
job.
like, people. It would kill me if I walked past a lighthouse and the beam paused in place before shooting down at me. I would shit myself.
So I just
No.
not do that.
What, shit myself or get spied on by a lighthouse?
Both. I would simply not go insane.
You can't keep avoiding madness by deciding I'm not going to be mad. Hey, Cthulhu, give me that book. I won't go mad.
It's worked.
I've
so
trained
far.
myself. Yeah, but at the same time, maybe you went mad on that day you sat down on the bench and everything else has been in your mind.
I didn't sit down on a bench. I sat down on the ground, mind you. Mind.
That was close. Bench, ground. Bench is technically a ground. Anyway. We're so bad at this.
You're bad at this.
No, I'm bad.
I got
at
really
hosting,
good
yes.
at keeping it coherent.
It's kind of hard to do these ones, okay? Let's see.
I'm not gonna lie.
Several
Remember how I gave you shit for only doing one? Glad we're only doing one.
Yeah, I kind
Good
of...
call. Good call on only doing one.
The next one. Dr. Emily Clark is overcome with a fit of mania, fully convinced she is suffering an eternal punishment in the afterlife. Just like you, Che.
Yep.
She repeatedly cried out that the vines were constraining her and pulling her into the ground. After several hours, Clark regained her composure. Noted distress has been observed in her demeanor since, though she has passed all subsequent psychological assessment tests. Which isn't really that tricky. You just have to lie. Not that I would know. Macrame. Anyway, several personnel stationed on SCP-6003 reported seeing holes in the ground with large human eyes embedded into the earth. They are described as crying.
Fuck me. Okay.
His eyeball's looking up my skirt. Oh, is that why it's crying? I forgot about that one. A single 20-second transmission is intercepted by site null consisting of screaming. The message was determined to be sent from SCP-6003. A little bit of a note for later. Personnel testing SCP-6003-1's chemical composition experienced minor ground tremors localized to the area immediately surrounding the pillar. All personnel reported the sensation of hands grabbing onto their lower bodies and pulling. And this one in particular freaks me out. Paul Chandler, site staff, received medical attention after collapsing in the field. After a prolonged struggle in which he claimed his body was being pierced in multiple locations, he expired. Autopsy revealed his nervous system had been replaced with fibrous tree roots, resulting in heavy damage to his internal physiology.
How could he feel if he had no nervous system?
I think he would slowly feel the nerves being like, what the fuck is touching me? Wood. Besides, we notice splinters all the time. Why wouldn't our nervous system notice
Because
that?
his nervous system doesn't exist.
Yeah, not anymore.
His nervous system isn't sending signals to its brain because it's a tree.
Also a note for later. And finally, on 1968-10-10, SCP-6003's anomalous weather formation of fog is disrupted for the first time as a storm takes the island. This event is yet to subside. All activity has been relegated to site null until further notice. Oh, my mouth isn't ready.
Oh, I have to read? Fuck.
Yeah. But so far, just to sum up, a bunch of weird events have been happening on the island. From crying eye grounds to crying human eye tree. What of human eyes? Again, will come up later, but not yet. Right now, because of how weird SCP-6003-1 is, Director Thomas Swain had to reach out to an expert on anomalous ruins and structures, which, yes, is a real thing in that universe, and yes, they are overworked, poor bastards. And the man who was brought through from Site 322, can't really remember if that's an actual site or if it's just for this one, because there are confirmed sites, like Site 13, which is technically an SCP that has been contained. No, not contained. It's not anomalous anymore because it got kicked out of the universe, I think.
Based.
Long story. I still think I should have gone with that one. You would have liked that.
Probably.
But I wouldn't have because it has a leech in it.
Oh, cringe.
Yeah, a kid leech. Anyway, this one is a... My lungs collapsed for a second. Is this how you get feeling slightly lightheaded? My voice is just not going to work tomorrow, is it?
I'm fine.
Yeah. In this log, Thomas Swain and Joseph Larg are checking out SCP-6003-1, the Lighthouse. The sounds of the storm that has enveloped the island are heard throughout. This is back to verbatim. Larg. Larg will be me. Swain, of course, you. Oh shit, what kind of voice? Wood, right? What? Is that not a professor?
Wood!
Wood, right? Come along,
I've
Thomas.
fucking lost the voice. Yep! Petrified wood! Yar, matey.
Yarr!
It's been resistant to all our attempts at entry. Chances are that whatever petrified this made it anomalously resilient too.
I've heard that they petrify the shelves in the Wanderer's library, but those shelves had colour. They weren't this.
The grey is striking. They misspelled grey. They put an A. It's supposed to be an E.
They did it again! Consistency! Do you know it? Well, to be fair, it was 3 different people that worked on this. Anyway. Very striking.
If you hear barking in the background, it's my dog.
Oh, no, I can't hear her.
It might come up in the recording.
Oh. Very striking. I don't think this came from the Wanderer's library. It's too attention-grabbing. It was probably more of a beacon for those who lived here than anything else, so it's possible they built it. I'm losing that accent.
That's how it works. This is how I've ended up with what Swain sounds like. It was supposed to be... It went through several changes before it ended up on this. We haven't any evidence for that yet. We are under the belief they
built around it. That's probably the case. But it could also be possible that their leader summoned it.
There are carvings. We're still going through them. Seems like they praised it. Almost as if they brought it here because of it. At least something relating to it.
So it's an icon. A great one, too. Any evidence of this being a structure to honor the dead?
Not exactly.
I'll get back to you when I can do some more research.
Thank you. A brief pause.
A brief pause.
Really? Makes you feel small, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess it does. I didn't really think about it until you said so.
I think that it was meant for something or someone. I wonder if they ever saw it.
Faint rumbling is heard. The fog above the 2 personnel is illuminated by a blinding white light, which slowly begins to spin. Dr. Larg leaves Swain, who is staring at the light. Larg approaches the base of SCP-6003-1.
Oh, it hasn't done that yet.
Tom, come here, look at this.
Yeah?
The grass surrounding SCP-6003 is fading in colour, slowly turning from a vivid green to a muted
Spelled
grey.
wrong. I don't understand.
I'm grabbing a sample. Dr. Larg reaches for a reed of grass. When his fingers touch it, the plant crumbles into ash. End log. Afterward, SCP-6003-1's lantern has remained constantly active since this event. The fucking lighthouse is on.
Neat.
And now the plants are losing their life.
Neat.
What if the lantern is sustained by biological matter? And the light being on is like, please someone, come feed me. I'm so hungry. Show up. Please. KFC. And over the preceding 5 days, the discoloration of plant life spread at an approximate speed of 0.5 meters per hour. That was verbatim. And that is terrifying because, Jesus fucking Christ, what the fuck? What if that gets out? What if the rest of the world becomes grey and then we're all just living in some shitty Willy Wonka? However, Dr. Lark did find out that the grass reed was being destroyed on a molecular level. And that's horrifying,
Yeah.
because it's killing biological matter. That includes us. Something I fucking loved, however, was the proposed containment efforts. This is verbatim. Proposed containment effort. Ignite affected plant life through use of controlled burns to limit the spread of anomalous discoloration. Result? Ineffective. The spread continued accelerating through the burned plant life. Proposed containment effort. Clear the island of all personnel. Result? Ineffective. The discoloration continued through the island, spreading throughout the ruins and Foundation outposts. Proposed containment effort. Decommissioning of SCP-6003-1. A nuclear explosive would be detonated on SCP-6003 at the base of SCP-6003-1. Result denied by Director Swain. Who the fuck was sitting in the meeting like, the plan's being weird. What if we burn it? Okay. What if we try removing the invading people? Yeah, good idea.
What if we nuke it?
What?
Nuke it.
Why?
Nuke it.
Because that's always gone well. Ooh, another god damn it fucking shit ass. I forgot about... Exploration log.
Exploration log.
Addendum 6003.6.
Oh,
Mobile
yep.
Task Force Investigation. The present members are Dr. Thomas Swain, the remote commander. He's the one standing in the chair being like,
Yeah, you fuckers go in. I'm gonna watch.
Guy in the chair.
Yep. Zeta-67 White is the captain, who we mentioned earlier was saying that she felt watched by the Lighthouse, and they're like, go on, go say hi. She's like, I don't want to. Go on. Then you've also got Zeta-67 Mako and Zeta-67 Blue. Blue is fucked. That's all. Fuck. Alright, so you see the 4 characters so far?
Yes.
We know you're Thomas.
Yep.
Who's your other one you want to be?
Give me a moment. I'm seeing if... No.
Oh, wait, hang on. Blue goes crazy. If you want to be
I
Blue.
guess I'll be blue.
Oh, God. Once more, verbatim. Don't take a drink every time I say that. You will be dead. Begin log. Zeta-67 White. Oh. We've landed.
Jesus Christ, okay.
There is a light cracking sound with each step the members take, as well as rainfall. Occasionally, the sound of thunder can be heard.
It feels like I'm stepping in snow. Is this grass?
Is that supposed to be an Australian accent or
No.
a...
Whiny.
Okay. Because you sound really Australian and then you got British.
I did. Well,
It feels like I'm stepping in snow.
Yeah, it sounds like you're doing like a shit attempt at an Australian accent that Americans do from time to time.
I'll keep
And they
it then.
think it's good, but it's not even close.
Yeah, it's horribly offensive.
I'm going to call it offensive. Well, it's offensive in the sense that it's just kind of pathetic and sad, but you know.
Story of my life.
Anyway, it was!
Through the fog, SCP-6003-1's light can be seen spinning in the distance, briefly illuminating the distant ruins and the team members.
Oh, proceed to the ruins! There's a section of the main building we weren't able to access previously! Oh, copy that.
Begin an approach now.
Blue slides his hand along the outer walls of a building. It flakes off.
Or are we at risk of structural collapse in here? I could tear a piece out if I tried hard enough. It's possible that enough force may It's possible that enough force may cause a chain collapse. Proceed in and don't lean on anything. The rooms we're looking for is located through the northernmost antechamber.
Understood. The team proceeds.
Grabbing a sample.
Pause.
This is so odd.
Zeta Mako peels a layer of the cobblestone flooring.
It's like dry sand.
Or chalk.
Command, is there anywhere else we need?
All members pause, then quickly cup their hands over their ears. Silence, save for the rain, for 10 seconds.
Status report. White? Do you copy?
You just sound so offended, like, White, how dare you? Command is ignored.
Oh, what the hell was that? No, give me a second. Oh, bro, what the hell was that?
No clue. Zeta Mako shudders.
Where did that come from? No, I'm getting South African. Oh, bro, where did that come from? Mako, you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Explain. White.
Oh, I read you. Did the mic not pick it up?
What? Did you hear something?
Yeah, it was like stone. Scraping on stone.
Nails on a chalkboard.
SCP-6003-1's light passes through the windows of the building, briefly illuminating the team. We'll check through the recording when we get back. Permission to proceed, Command?
Granted.
Zeta-67 passes through the antechamber and into a room where 6 pillars are seen.
Like the six
sixth
boxes. Bum, bum, bum.
The 6th one is coated in a calcified stone-like material. What have they done with your sap?
Eat it.
No, the sap's been dusted like everything else. So your sap is now calcified stone material. Bone broth.
At your 3, near the eastern wall. 6th pillar.
Roger. No.
Roger.
Zeta Blue breaks away. He approaches the western wall and begins inspecting the first box. This one?
Yes, we believe there is one more inscription somewhere in that wall. Use your knives. Scrape around the wall and find it.
Roger.
Roger. Beginning now.
Zeta White and Zeta Mako begin removing sections of the coating.
Where the hell is Blue?
Huh?
Command, can you repeat that question?
Your 3rd teammate, Blue. Where is he?
Who?
It's only us here, sir. Is everything alright?
What are you?
I got something.
A partial stone box is seen on Zeta Mako's body camera.
Continue, please.
Zeta Mako and Zeta White begin pulling from the same area.
Sorry. Blue, do you copy? Oh, that's also me.
Like I said, he goes crazy buku.
Oh, bro, he said until Lothos traverse the seas and the waters of the world. Blue, I hear you. Do you copy? Please return to your team. Though come not to that place, craft from the night and bounded hate. Blue, this is Tom Swain. You're disregarding my orders. Our paradise lived alone.
Zeta Mako and Zeta White begin scraping at a much faster pace.
Mako, White, intervene now.
Well, we're almost done here.
Or his meager kingdom, ever still beneath the wooden throne. Oh, that's also me. That's a goddamn order, Mako. Your teammate is in distress. Where the harrowed silence permeates.
Approximately half of the stone box is now revealed.
No reverence maintained. White! Do you copy? A silent corner, undisturbed, the sleeping.
I copy, sir. Zeta Mako and Zeta White increase their speed.
Do you hear me, goddammit? Blue, get back to your team now! Giant remains.
Loud and clear. We're almost done here.
God damn it, Blue! Anthony, listen to me! You're going to be all right! Vantala took heed of her master's warnings.
The box is revealed.
And wept.
Zeta White pries the box open. Inside of it is another decorated stone. It depicts members of the civilization lined up outside of SCP-6003-1. The ones closest to it appear to be entering it.
Blue?
Zeta White turns around, finding Zeta Blue completely still. Blue? Oh god! Blue!
Oh no!
No, I just accidentally made that sound like Oh, what is his name? The dog from Puss in Boots Last
Oh, Perito.
Wish. Yeah, Perito. I know! Oh no! Zeta Blue's body becomes duller, as if all the colour is being sucked out of him by an unknown force. Lucky bitch. Within 7 seconds, Zeta Blue is completely colourless. Without a you fuck. Sorry. Starting at the base of his feet, the matter comprising the body takes on a chalky, flaky appearance. This deterioration climbs slowly up his body until the entirety of it is transfigured into the substance.
Hello? White? Do you copy? Mako?
Zeta White approaches Zeta Blue and places a hand on his shoulder. The body collapses into a mound of ash. Copy.
Mako? Hello?
Hello. Zeta White turns back to Mako, who is now undergoing the degradation. She is suffering in the final stages of the conversion before Zeta Mako collapses.
Oh god.
And log. How fun!
Woo!
They became dusted. Where did they go? Who fucking knows? But now we know what's in the 6th box. It seems like the last
Mr.
people
Swain,
on this island.
I don't feel so good. You're welcome.
I hate that. But now we know what's in the 6th box. It was depicting the tribe, the missing tribe with no human remains, entering the lighthouse.
Becoming dust people.
Well, you'll see. And after this happened, no one was allowed to go back to the island because they don't want another incident.
Neat. It's a smart idea.
However, 3 days after the incident, Director Swain went missing, resulting in Emily Clark being designated as the temporary site director. And where do you think dumbass went?
Lighthouse.
Yeah. Welcome to another one of yours. And don't forget to roll the
Yep.
R.
I can't believe I let Rosa walk like that. She was a good researcher, one with skill and potential. I think she knew that, though, and perhaps that scared her. Well, something scared her. There's nothing on this island. Nothing I can look at and feel frightened by. It's peaceful, and there's a calm stillness not found elsewhere, especially in my line of work. I looked at everything she did and felt the opposite. Maybe it's me who's blind to it all. Maybe there's something so vivid and so intense that my brain rolls over it. Rosa would be smart then, and I'd be the fool. I examined the same rocks she did and understood the same things she had. What am I missing? There were people here once. They lived here. They worshipped a god, capital G, who provided for them. A god, capital G, who is now defunct, as they are. I guess I should have fought harder to keep her. Maybe I'd understand what she was, so I'd be adamant about them. Maybe I'd listen. They got fucked by autocorrect there with the capital G on God. You don't, if it's a God that's not God, as in like God of the Christian God, it's not a capital G. But if it is the God of the Christian God, you put a capital G on there. So autocorrect obviously went capital G God and they didn't pick it.
Well, I can tell you for a fact it's not capital G God. He's currently, he's technically contained, except the one that's contained might not actually be God and might just be someone saying they're God. Long story. That's for when we cover Order Papadopoulos. Anyway, there were some requests put through, and verbatim they were: date 1968-05-08. Request for additional personnel. Notes: researcher Rosa Harm, level 3 has been transferred to another project. Replacement needed. Status denied. There are levels in the SCP Foundation, as if anyone who has played the game might know. Level 1, basic access. And even then, it's barely anything. Level 2 is proper basic access. Level 3, level 4, and I think level 5 is the highest for 05 Council. So if she's level 3, she's pretty damn good, but she's not level 4 yet. I don't really know the levels myself, but that's just what I think it was. Anyway, the next request was date 1968 10/4. I did not notice at this time they didn't have an 04. They just had, anyway. Request for additional personnel. Notes. Anomalous activity has disrupted our team, which was a skeleton crew to begin with. Lots of people have been working overtime, but the lack of sleep is starting to get to all of us. Additionally, prior requests for additional personnel have yet to be addressed. A transfer is sorely needed. I almost said solely. And it was, of course, denied. They don't want to lose anyone else to this fucking weird island. You kidding me? People got turned into chalk.
Should have eaten the sap. Would have made him immune.
Honestly, maybe it could have. And your turn.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's so much more I need to read.
Oh, trust me, you haven't reached the big pit.
Oh, there's one final. Emily had a breakdown earlier today. She kept begging me to forgive her. I'm losing my grip on this position. Nothing really prepares a person for something like this. I have everyone's lives and well-being placed in my hands, only for them to slip through my fingers, drip by drip. Emily kept babbling about a falling and a snake wrapping around her and squeezing her. I gathered everything up after we had Emily sedated. We tried to think of an answer, but no one had anything. I told them that the lighthouse had turned on, and they'd looked at me like I was crazy. No one else saw it. Apparently, I showed them the video, and they asked me where it was filmed. I couldn't find... I fucked up the... there was supposed to be a full stop in there somewhere, but don't worry about it. No one could find Joseph either. And the meeting went nowhere. Joseph thinks we triggered it. Joseph thinks we triggered when we were forming the... What? Joseph thinks we triggered when we were forming the dig sites. We're looking into that whenever we can get into the island. The only consensus I can get is that we all feel there is something or someone 2 inches behind us. But every time we turn around, they're gone! Like we're stuck in a dream, unable to run away from the nightmare that is slowly gaining on us. I need more people. I need someone to help us stay sane and work through this.
Oh, another misspelling.
Where?
Work through this.
I need someone to help us and stay sane and work through this. There we go. I fixed it.
Yeah, further proof that Thomas is having a deterioration.
Okay.
And then the next one.
This is 12 days later. I sent our only protection to die today. I can't figure out if I'm to blame or the lighthouse. They never believe me when I say it. It's still watching me as I write this. Emily says I'm paranoid and that we're safe here. Are we safe anywhere near this godforsaken place? I had to abandon my men, and they were rendered to chalk, to ash, to nothing. Comma. There's nothing following the comma.
Man, Thomas really is losing it. All the authors lost it. I'm gonna say Thomas. These were Thomas Swain's requests, and they were the same day as, that last one that he mentioned where the MTF got injured. Well, injured. Yeah, actually no, injured applies. Again, later. And the request is for additional personnel once more. The notes say, we're all cramped on the... Oh, you should read this. I just realised this is...
I would rather not.
Yeah. And they say, we're all cramped on the oil rig and burnt out as hell. Sarah Huxley's femur was broken by the rogue wave from a few weeks ago, and she still isn't ready to work again. I don't know if Rosa has been talking to whoever is in charge of the transfers, but she wasn't in any real danger. I only let her transfer because I realised she was too out of her mind to get any work done if she had stayed. Our only task force agents are gone. We're hardly able to step on that island without more manpower. Until then, you're putting our lives at risk. Of course, denied. I fucking love this one where he just snaps. Request for additional personnel. Notes. Do you know what it's like over here? Do you know that the non-essential personnel I dismissed was just Sarah, who was hopped up on so much oxycodone she couldn't tell up from down? In case you haven't been sticking hidden microphones everywhere, here's your fucking site dossier. Site Null is an oil rig gone to shit. The level 5 stopped letting anyone into the site after Rosa Ham ran her mouth off to them. Fuck whoever was already working there, I guess. Researchers are getting injured. Anomaly is becoming more and more dangerous. Not a problem. While higher-ups were busy sitting on their hands, all personnel at Site Null were transformed into feral and burnt-out creatures, working 100-hour weeks and drinking more espresso than water. Site Director Thomas Swain can be found in his quarters working, eating, or sleeping. He keeps the door locked in case the rest of the team stages a mutiny, which should happen pretty soon. He predicts that if no additional personnel are transferred, the Insurgency or the Serpents or Anderson or whoever the hell needs people familiar with anomalies is going to get some new recruits within the next few months. Or maybe they'll all be dead. We need more personnel. This isn't a request, it's a demand. Status pending. Now, he did mention 3 names there. The Insurgency. That's the Chaos Insurgency. I'm pretty sure they're the ones that, they're the people who are opposite to the SCP Foundation. They hate them. They use SCPs to cause chaos. Duh. The Serpent's Hand, I'm pretty sure they're the ones who patrol the Wanderer's Library. They just make sure things are okay-ish. And Anderson Robotics, that dude is fucking crazy cuckoo. And his technology is technically alive. Another day. And Thomas says... You'll have to read that one, because that's you. Luckily, it's just a sentence.
I don't know what else to do.
And the next night, shit hit the fan. Thomas boarded a boat, sailed onto the island, and began approaching the lighthouse. And as he does that, after 12 minutes, he decides, okay, I'm going to turn on my body camera. And unfortunately, it's Thomas Swain.
I did Clark's voice, right? That was the weird one.
Yeah, that was Emily Clark. But if you want, I can take that. This is verbatim. Begin log. Director Swain is standing in front of SCP-6003-1. The sounds of the storm drown out the sound of his microphone, adding significant feedback to his responses.
Give me a second. Yep. Where the hell are you going? I'm sorry. I had to see it. Tom, get back here now. This is extremely dangerous. Fuck it, you take over. I've lost the accent. Okay, we'll just start again.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm sorry. I had to see it.
Tom, get back here, now. This is extremely dangerous.
Haim was right. She was right about it all. They went in there. I don't know why. Maybe it wanted them to. Maybe it told them. They loved it, though.
The camera pans up. SCP-6003-1's beam can be seen rotating. Swain remains silent on this image for 3 minutes and 32 seconds. Clark's attempts to converse with Swain are fruitless and have been expunged from this record for brevity.
I think about it a lot. We have these plants, completely unnatural in this world, completely unnatural to this world, and these ruins, an unnatural addition to the island. That was always here, though. It's the only thing watching this island, watching us.
Camera pans back to the front. SCP-6003-1's beam appears to pause. The camera feed is overexposed.
The people who were here figured that out too. They knew it was only safe in there.
Loud scraping is heard.
You have to understand that.
The feed is now visible again. A large gap is seen in SCP-6003-1's walls. The interior is pitch black.
Then it will accept you.
Swain enters. The feed goes to static for 3 seconds.
I knew it!
Swain is now standing on a barren field. Snow or ash is raining from above him. The entirety of the expanse is in grayscale. Swain begins to pace forward silently, following multiple sets of footsteps.
They left a path for us. They left a path for us.
14 minutes redacted for brevity. Swain intermittently recites the passage from Addendum 6003.1 to himself quietly, which was also what Blue said to himself before, Approximately 5 meters in front of Swain is what appears to be a massive tangle of vines and roots. They are a vivid brown in color.
It all makes sense. The poem! It was right. I thought it was a warning. I really did.
Swain is now standing close to the colossal bundle of roots. At least 200 corpses are entwined within it, dressed similarly. They can all be seen slowly exhaling and inhaling in unison. Comparison of footage showed that their breathing pattern corresponded to each rotation of SCP-6003-1's lantern. 3 bodies are noticed, closer to the outside than the others. Swain approaches them. While their clothes are identical to the other corpses, they are all bearing the insignia of MTF Zeta-67 on their right biceps.
It wasn't. It really wasn't. It wouldn't let anything else die on its watch. It stopped death. It conquered death. Bracket, Swain begins to cry, close bracket. That's why it took the island back, and it took our agents. It's saving them. We woke it up, and it wants to save me. I understand. Anything's better than the expanse, the not knowing, the struggle, and for what? A pat on the back? Moments of bliss that won't last? Will come and go and suffer in the process, while you'll be here for as long as this lighthouse stands. This is beautiful. This...
At the center, a more ornately dressed corpse is wrapped by roots around its torso. A grey crown is laying at the left of its head.
This is our throne.
The body camera is released and falls to the ground. The feed is now obscured. Stretching and slithering are heard for approximately 12 seconds, then the sound of tightening and wet movement. The feed continues for another 3 hours. The only noticeable sounds are breathing. End log. You can see what I mean by how this is kind of complicated, but also not.
It was also really fucking long.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. Anyway, as I was saying, at the beginning, I said I would get to my theories. In box 1, we saw, that fur primate. I think that was Bigfoot, one of the Bigfoot entities, planting a seed of their god, Titania. Titania was formerly known as Ea, and she was the goddess of the fairies. She was the god of wish and starlight, I believe. And one day the fairies made a wish. I believe that they were annoyed at humans and made a wish that there would be something to counter them. So the children of the night were born, which are the Bigfoot. And however, the fairies, they shunned them because they're furry monsters, man. No offense to any fairies. And when they did that, it kind of broke Aya's heart. And so when the children of the night came to her, they made a wish, which she granted, and she became their goddess. And she became Titania. She gave her heart, literally, to the children of the night, which was turned into Titania's prison. But her body is speculated to be an upside-down tree. I don't remember where. I think it's in the rainforest, where she is emitting a soporific that keeps the children of the night asleep. What I think one of the children managed to escape with a, what do you call it, a cutting? With a cutting of Titania and found an island. It was lonely. It wanted to dream again, so it made a beacon to lure people in, and it became the Lighthouse. So when a tribe came along, the tribe leader, he wanted his people to survive at any cost. So they worshipped the Lighthouse, and then I think that a pestilence or a famine came, and they had to run. They had to find shelter. The Lighthouse welcomed them in, and it kept them alive in perpetuity within its root embrace. That's my theory. Yeah, the SCP Foundation is kooky dukes, and this episode is quite long. Apologies.
Yes.
But yeah, what did you think of it?
It was good.
I mean, yeah, disjointed because I am a mess.
Have you ever watched Love, Death, Robots?
No, I've been meaning to, but I know there are some moments where it's very similar.
Yeah, spoiler for an episode that is my favorite of all the episodes, Beyond the Aquila Rift. It's very long and complicated, but the long and short is they end up in a place very far away. Basically, they use jump gates to instantly, or not instantly, but near teleport themselves across the galaxy, right? Or within colonized human settlement. And this guy uses it, and he wakes up in a space station that's not where he was supposed to wake up, because they go into cryogenic sleep because it's not quite instantaneous. But it's like, a 6 week journey or whatever, and then they wake up in the location.
Oh yeah,
And
just temporary
yeah,
stasis.
and he runs into a woman there that he knows, and he's like, but yeah, this guy ends up in this location, and he meets the woman that he knows, and she's just like, yeah, so there's a glitch in the gate system, and 1 in every 100,000 ships just doesn't come back. It just gets sent, and it just gets sent really fucking far, and it turns out it's here, but it's 1,000 years to fly back, so no one's coming back. And then, like, so she's just like, and I've built this base, like, or we've built this base so that people can, hang out here and be fine. And then as the episode goes on, it gets weirder and weirder and weirder, and it turns out that he's not awake. He's in a dream. He's in his cryo pod in this stasis dream, and because like they wake up one of his crewmates, and then she immediately attacks the woman that's there, and she cuts her face open, and then he meets her the next day, and she's completely recovered, and it's like, okay, what's happened here? What's going on?
That is some Event Horizon shit.
And she's like, I lied. You're not 10,000 years away. It's like 1,000,000. You're really far away, and you're never getting home. And she explains, like, you're like, this situation, like, I'm not the woman that you think I am. You're still in the cryopod. You're still in a dream. I am psychically embedding myself into your mind. And, like, I care for everyone who comes into my home. And he's like, that's fine. I want to know what's happened. I want to see the real world. I want to wake up. And so she lets him out. And he wakes up in this nightmare place. It's a spider's nest, basically.
Like the web weaver from two.
Not even close. It's this horrific sort of nightmare hive of spider creatures, and it's just made up of destroyed spaceships that have all ended up in this place, and like he can see the destroyed cryopods of his team, and then he wanders around, and he sees the woman, and she speaks to him again, and she's like, I want you to remember, I do genuinely care for all those who enter my world. And then she walks out of the shadows, and it is what can best be described as a fucking monster. Hold up, I can probably send you the GIF. Love. Oops.
Side note: I had such a blast with this episode. I'm already working on
there
another one.
So that's what comes out, and
Nope.
And he immediately starts screaming, and then he just wakes up in the dream world again, because like it's such a horrific entity, despite the fact that it is clearly cares and it wants to help people. He just can't deal with
She's
the
a
reality.
good woman. She just ugly as fuck.
It got me your theory that like, they fled and they went to the lighthouse, and the lighthouse offered them sanctuary. Reminds me of that episode specifically. That episode has created a small obsession of mine, which I've described as monstrous benevolence. So it is this idea of these monsters, like physical monsters, but they're all good. But you would see them and they're just horrific. Like, a Nosferatu-esque vampire.
And that is SCP-6003, the Beacon? Is it benevolent, it wants to help people, or malevolent, it wants to feed off people? I would love to hear your guys' interpretation in the comments below, and I really hope you liked this, because I personally had a blast.
I hope you
basically just reading.
I hope you enjoy 2-hour-long videos that are chaotic. This was certainly something. It did not go the way I was expecting it to go.
I'm gonna make sure I have a proper list of things to
Yeah,
hit
maybe condense your
first.
notes and read less direct quotes. The little radio play parts are fine, but just
Oh yeah,
when you were reading every single detail, there was a bit of you could probably have condensed this a lot and just not read every single part of this verbatim, but you're learning how to do this, so it is what it is. Also, as an aside, this is coming out on Wednesday, as has the previous week, and as has the previous week. We're not moving to Wednesday. I just that's just how it's shaken out. We should be returning back to our Tuesday schedule next week. Obviously, not this week.
Yeah, because I personally have had an issue where my computer has been blue screening.
Do the like and share and comment thing, and obviously this isn't a great episode to mention this on, but it has seemed like YouTube is kind of fucking us over, not fucking us over, but just in the background, it's not recommending us as much. So if you're be sure to share to your friends and stuff. Also, if you are an SCP person and you've watched this entire episode and you're vaguely interested in Warhammer, stick around. Next week we'll be doing Warhammer. There's going to be a whole heap of Warhammer. It's going to be a Warhammer episode because that's what we do here at Good Morning Ratman. It's a Warhammer show.
Until next week.
I
don't know how to
you
say
just
goodbye.
usually say goodbye, and then I usually say goodbye, then you say goodbye, and then I say goodbye. So I'm waiting for you to say goodbye, then I say bye, and then you say bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Do you ever just have a moment of panic where you're like, did I remember to press record?
Yes, that's why I have my other monitor open.
I had it, but then I closed Audacity to look at the picture you sent me, and I'm just like, did I start recording?
Yeah, where's
I don't have
Craig. Craig in. Yeah, we both forgot about him.
I was wrong. We did forget to record. It's fine.
It's just Craig.
Hey, if we don't have audio for the first 6 minutes, something went catastrophically wrong.
Yeah, especially considering I've been having those blue screen moments.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck. It'll be fine. I'll wing it. Just don't crash. Don't have your recording crash.
I'll do my fucking best. I'm not in control of it. I'm not just like, this game's getting kind of boring. I could quit, or I could blue screen. Ooh, blue screen. No.
Maybe you just stop playing brand new games and dust your PC.
It's been dusted,
Yep.
and we were playing Darktide. I highly...
It's 2 years old. It's not Black Ops 6, I'll give it that. You trying to play Black Ops 6 on your machine is a fool's errand.
I have played about 16 hours and only had, I'd say, 3 blue screens. I think...
That number should be 0.
Yeah. But in my justification, it's really fun for the zombies. Hate Activision. I hate their stupid fucking money season pass bullshit.
Activision sucks.
It does. I mean, come on. You keep releasing new games, just make the old ones cheaper. But no, Black Ops 1 is like $80.
I've mentioned this to other people, but people give EA a lot of shit, and validly so. But EA has at least realized that they've done terrible things and are terrible in the consumer practice sense, and then have tried to do better. And then Activision is just there. Literally, people have died because of them. They've gotten people killed, and then just it's EA, isn't it? It's like, okay.
Yeah, the Black Ops people.
Because EA did anti-consumer practice, and it's like, wait till you find out what Activision did, including the anti-consumer practice. A different Warhammer YouTuber, Bricky, did a series on the Call of Duties, and how there are Call of Duty video games that are available for sale that if you play multiplayer, you will get hacked and a rootkit installed into your computer. And Activision knows this, and people have made workarounds to get around it, and they are actively trying to sue these people to try and force them back onto the servers in which they will get hacked. Fuck Activision. Fuck Activision. Jesus fucking Christ. Scummy company. Anyway, back to the... I always take the opportunity to talk about how much fucking hate Activision. The moment I went to like, hey, I want to play World of War, and then it was like, hey, so Modern Warfare 2, the reboot, just came out. World of War is $70. And I'm like, go fuck yourself.
Not to mention in the newer games, you have to link your Activision account.
Yeah. Anyway.
Like, you have to link it before you can play the game. Stupid.
Yeah. Didn't they, like, try to do a streaming service sort of thing? It wasn't like a streaming service, but it was like a monthly membership for Activision.
Oh.
Like COD Plus or something, and it was like $10 a month. And
I
it
would
was
not
in
be
like
surprised.
one game.
I absolutely would not be surprised.
Anyway, we started off with some end of video content.
As we do.